friends. Have you ever looked at the night sky and wondered that exists beyond our planet? Today, I will present about other planets and stars in the universe. I will introduce some interesting facts about them and have you explore the beauty of space. First, I would like to talk about an important historical event. Neil Armstrong was the first person to walk on the moon in 1969 during the Apollo 11 moon landing. This was a very important achievement because it showed human courage and a great progress in science and space exploration. Neil Armstrong became the first person to walk on the moon on July 20, 1969. This happened during the Apollo 11 mission by NASA. He stepped onto the moon and said, "That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind." This event marked a huge breakthrough in science and space exploration, a historic milestone showing human courage and technological progress. Now, I will introduce all the planets in the solar system. First, let's start with Mercury. It is the closest planet in the Sun and the smallest in the solar system. It has a rocky surface full of craters, similar to the Moon. A year on Mercury is only 88 Earth days. Temperatures are extreme, very hot during the day and freezing at night. It has almost no atmosphere, so it cannot retain heat. Next, let's move to Venus planet. It often called Earth's sister planet because of its similar size, covered by thick clouds of carbon dioxide, creating a strong greenhouse effect. The hottest planet, even hotter than Mercury, rotates very slowly and in the opposite directions of most planets. A day on Venus is longer than a year. Now, let's talk about our home, Earth planet, the third planet from the Sun and the only known planet with life. About 70% of its surface is covered by water, has a protective atmosphere rich in oxygen. The Moon orbits Earth and affects tides. Suitable temperature and environment make it unique. The next planet I would like to introduce is Mars planet, known as the red planet due to iron oxide, rust on its surface, has the largest volcano, Olympus Mons, and deep valleys. Evidence suggests water once existed on Mars. It has two small moons, Phobos and Deimos, a key target for future human exploration. Jupiter planet, the largest planet in the solar system, a gas giant made mostly of hydrogen and helium, famous for the Great Red Spot, a giant storm lasting hundreds of years, has more than 70 moons, including Ganymede, the largest moon. Its strong gravity influences other objects in the solar system. Next, let's talk about Saturn planet, best known for its spectacular ring system made of ice and rock, a gas giant similar in composition to Jupiter, less dense than water. It could theoretically float, has many moons including Titan, which has a thick atmosphere. Now, let's move on to Uranus planet, an ice giant with a pale blue-green color due to methane gas, rotates on its side, making its seasons very unusual. Extremely cold with the lowest temperatures of any planet, has faint rings and several moons. Finally, we would talk about Neptune planet, the farthest planet from the Sun, a deep blue ice giant with very strong winds, has large storms similar to Jupiter's but shorter lived. One of its moons, Triton, orbits in the opposite direction, takes about 165 Earth years to orbit the Sun. Next, let's look at Artemis 2. That is a historic mission because it is the first time in over 50 years that we are sending a human crew back to the moon. These 4 astronauts will fly around the lunar far side, testing everything out before we actually land. It is a huge step for humanity. Now, let's meet the crew. We have Reed Wiseman as the commander, Victor Glover as the pilot, and the 2 mission specialists, Christina Koch and Jeremy Hazen. What's special is that this team includes the first woman, the first person of color, and the first Canadian to ever leave Earth's orbit for the moon. Artemis 2 is the first crewed mission of NASA Artemis program, planned for 2026 and lasting about 10 days. 4 astronauts will travel around the moon using the Space Launch System SLS rocket and the Orion spacecraft. Although they will not land on the moon, the mission aims to test important systems in deep space. It is also the first human mission beyond Earth orbit since 1972 and plays a key role in preparing for future missions like Artemis 3, which will land humans on the moon. Thank you, teacher, and everyone for listening.